Hey, tractor fans, it's that time of year. Time for the greatest tractor show on grass from the Grundy Center two-cylinder grounds in Grundy Center, Iowa. Bring your money. There's lots to see and lots to do. As this year, we not only go green and yellow, but we also toss in some reds, yellows, blues, and all kinds of other colors. It's the dog days of summer, and don't worry, if you get too hot, we know just how to cool you down at the great North American Tractor Expo.
This is a 1951 John Deere Model G.
Welcome to Grundy Center, Iowa, home of Two-Cylinder 6, the great North American Tractor Exposition. I'm Lisa Cherry along with Dave Reef, and we'll be bringing you a very colorful rainbow this year as Two-Cylinder holds its first ever all-color event.
And you talk about colors. How about some reds? Well, we've got the Internationals, the Farmalls, and the Massey Fergusons. You want some orange? Well, how about the Alice Chalmers or the Minneapolis Molines? Maybe even some foreign flavor with the Australian Chamberlain. We've got your green and yellow two-cylinder tractors, but we've even got one big blue coming from the Old English County tractor, the only one known to exist. Nearly 400 exhibits on the field today, and Lisa, I think one of the neat things about this expo, it gives a chance for us two-cylinder fans to maybe compare and contrast the two different tractor models.
Definitely, Dave, definitely. A lot of these people here today, they started on a tractor other than a John Deere. I guess you could call them a closet collector, and they still have those odd-colored ones on their farms and in their families today.
Not only do we have a lot of closet collectors, but we've got a lot of closet spectators, too, from all across the nation as well. From Alaska all the way to New Hampshire. We even talked to some French businessmen who came in on 2 busloads yesterday. We've even got a New Zealand exhibitor here for the 2nd consecutive year.
The other noticeable change besides an all-color show this year is the time of year or having it in. It's actually in 2 seasons this year, as it's a beautiful spring day right now, but tomorrow it's going to be a hot summer day.
Oh boy, but we better get busy right now. Coming up, you can count on a lot of interviews with some of these exhibitors, as well as coverage of our 2nd annual Rubber Wheel Parade. As these tractors peruse the city of Grundy Center, we've even got a couple of firsts as well.
Yep, Dennis Polk is here from Indiana with his crew, and they're going to have an auction on Friday at the Grundy Center Fairgrounds, and then on Saturday, a micro mini tractor pull, and we'll be sure to bring you all the highlights from those 2 events.
There might even be a couple of tractors in the video. I'm not sure. We got to get busy, though. It's time to spring into summer here at Two-Cylinder 6, the great North American Tractor Exposition.
Leroy, can you tell us where you're from and a little bit about your tractor?
I'm from DeKalb, Michigan, in southern part of the state. Tractor's been in the family since it was new. Father-in-law bought it, brand new. He had it 3 years, had a farm auction, and I bought it, and I've had it ever since.
Is this your first expo? Have you ever been here before with John Deere tractors, or?
No, this is my first time here. I've belonged to the Two-Cylinder Club for 5-6 years, and we were here to visit once, and I see whether he's going to have all tractors this time, so I thought I'd send in an application and see about bringing it.
Is this the only tractor that you have?
No, I have more, but it's the only one I got fully restored right now.
And you're going to restore the other ones too, or?
Yes, I even got a John Deere I'm trying to buy to restore.
Beautifully restored Alice Chalmers in orange is kind of a good way to get things going here on our all-color expo, the great North American Tractor Exposition. Yeah, the wind's blowing, let's see, to the right, I guess it looks like. But we actually pick up our video highlights on Wednesday afternoon where the unloading procedures are just beginning.
People came from all over this year to exhibit their tractors, and not only were the exhibitors there on Wednesday, but also just the tractor fans. We allowed them to come in and watch the unloading procedures in a more relaxed atmosphere, maybe listen to some exhibitors start their tractors up and talk to them before the actual show began.
And that's right, if people weren't allowed to stick around for the parade, this was a perfect opportunity to get a chance to see some of these tractors fired up, moving across the grounds, making a familiar Johnny Popper sound. And as I said, flatbeds, semi-truck trailers. We haven't had some people driving tractors off of pickup trucks.
Come on, it's just another L.
You want some frequent flyer miles? Well, go talk to this man.
Keith, you had to travel 4,000 miles to get here. Why?
Well, gee, I just found out about the two-cylinder club about 5 years ago, and I have an interest in John Deere tractors from my childhood back in New Hampshire, and I just, after watching your video of last year, that I just thought I wanted to get down here, and I think it's great. I'm glad I came.
Is this your first expo to come to?
Yes, it is.
Okay, this is the first all-colored expo. What do you think of that?
I think it's great. I kind of enjoy looking at the other colored tractors, and kind of gives you a perspective of the different, the way the different manufacturers put their tractors together.
You think you're going to make it back to just a John Deere expo maybe next year?
I hope so.
Do you have any tractors of your own back up in Alaska?
Yeah, I have a 420 dozer, and then I have a Model B wide front.
Are they restored tractors that you'd maybe think of hauling all the way over here for an expo? Is that a little bit too far for you to make it?
Well, they're not restored to this quality. They're more partially restored, so that you can use them. No, I wouldn't be able to bring them down here.
We have Russell and Don here, both from Michigan, and they bring a few oddities to the expo this year. Can you tell us about your Jeep, Russell?
My Jeep is a 1946 Universal CJ2A that I bought about 4 years ago, and I've had it restored, new motor, etc. in it, top condition. And I also have it painted John Deere green and yellow. I refer to it as a John Deere Jeep.
What color was the Jeep when you first got it?
Black.
And Don, you bring an Oliver here this year. Tell us a little bit about that tractor.
It's a 1949 Oliver 77 row crop. It belonged to our granddad, and it's been in the family for quite a few years, and we just decided to restore it and make something nice out of it. Bring something a little different to the two-cylinder show this year.
What do you guys think of this all-colored expo? Are you excited that you were able to bring these oddities in?
Oh yeah, I think this is a great deal. Give people a little something else to look at.
Continuing now with our unloading procedures here Wednesday at Two-Cylinder 6. Had a chance to talk with Keith Freeman out of Alaska. We got people coming from all over, don't we, Lisa?
We sure do. And for those of you who did travel miles and miles to come to the show, watch for your license plate on this videotape. If you see it, take a photograph of it and mail it in to the Two-Cylinder Center, and in return, you'll receive a $5 credit voucher that you can use on merchandise. Maybe buy another expo videotape.
Well, that's certainly a good way to spend it. We saw Iowa and Wisconsin and Illinois represented, and also South Dakota, and we just saw Maryland. So as you can see, people coming from all over. Wednesday, also the day that tractor exhibitors get a chance to do a little spit shine on each of their tractors.
A lot of pride goes into these tractors also. Well, a lot of money. What happens if you would like a tractor but you just can't afford one of the big full-size ones?
You just get Patrick Prom to build you one of these big rigs. Patrick Prom out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, the master of the miniature, a little Model D this year.
Thank you. It was fun to build. I planned it last year at the Expo 5, went home and started working right away. Got next year's going already.
Saying this Model D isn't the only one that we're going to have here at Expo 6. We also had one from Expo 5, too.
Right, the little L John Deere. And I made a half-scale gas pump to go with it. So.
The inspirations for the little models come from somewhere. Can you tell us where that is?
Well, my son gave me the idea at Expo 4. I told him to pick a model. He picked the L. That's where we went from there.
And now it's the D, and then you say you have one already in the working stages for next year. What's that going to be?
Well, it's going to be a 3010 tractor puller. It won't be a two-cylinder, but I got the engine for it, and the gears are going in my head. She started already. So I'm going to bring it. I don't know if I can show it, but I'm going to bring it along anyhow.
As we said, the master of the miniature. Come back to Expo 7 to see the next tractor.
The sky was a bit overcast earlier this morning, but as you can see now, the sun is coming out. It's going to give you a good chance to look at some of those colors of the rainbow that we have on the grounds this year.
Got this.
Dave is standing by with our next exhibitor. He comes to us from down south in the Lone Star State.
Well, Dean, you make the haul all the way from Texas with a very, very special tractor. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, this is a little 420 high crop factory LP, and Two-Cylinder Magazine confirmed that there was probably 5, maybe 6 of these tractors made, and it could be one of the rarest two-cylinder John Deeres that's in captivity.
Well, I suppose the obvious question then is, where did you find it?
Well, I found it under a tree. It was all to pieces, and a friend of mine was doing some paint work on one of his tractors, and I found it, and we made a trade, and it's here in the Grundy Center.
How many, well, I suppose months, maybe even more than months, years did it take to restore this?
About a year. Yeah. All the pieces were here, just a matter of, getting everything rebuilt and repainted and cleaned up and into the restoration end of it.
Texas, a long haul with a rare tractor, and I understand you've got doctor's orders not even to be here.
I'm not supposed to be here, that's right. But anyway, I had a commitment, and we talked to Two-Cylinder, and they said they'd never had a tractor like this at the show, the 420 High Crop Factory LP, and they asked me if I'd bring it, so here it is. So this will be a first anyway for me and for the Two-Cylinder show. I was here last year as a spectator and just kind of going through. Enjoy it, love it. Love Iowa. If it wasn't so cold, I'd live here.
Well, things are really starting to take shape right now, and it's my pleasure to get the chance to speak with the director of the Two-Cylinder Club, Mr. Jack Bible from Newmarket, Tennessee. Jack, I guess welcome back, but you're no stranger to this place.
No, I spent right smart time up here last year.
Well, tell us a little bit about your tractor here. We got a model AO.
Well, it's one I've had for about 10 years. It's a rare tractor in a way. It's one of the real early ones with a pop-up oil head sticker and the GP style muffler and solid cast rear wheels. From what I understand, there was very few sets ever left the factory with solid cast. So I've been working on this tractor for 2 years, put together in parts for 10.
Well, it sure is a beautiful tractor, and the paint job is pretty impeccable.
Thank you.
Jack, we've had a chance to talk, obviously, from Grundy Center here. We've got a couple more things in common other than just tractors. We like to maybe head out to the racetrack every now and then, too.
Oh, yeah, I've had my share in the seat of a car.
Tell us about some of your best experiences there.
Oh, well, I drove on the West Coast for NASCAR for 17 years. And I retired too many years ago to tell you how long. And I also was a national champion drag racing.
Now, did you get into tractors? Were you already involved with tractors and racing, or was that something that kind of came on its own?
Whenever I retired and moved back to Tennessee, I'd always wanted to get into tractors just one tractor, just one. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. One leads to another one.
And then eventually 350 like we see on the ground here. Tell us a little bit about the All-Color Expo. It was a good move by the Two-Cylinder Club.
I think that by the club acknowledging and the factory's help of acknowledging all the various colors that we have here as a tribute to John Deere. John Deere is one of the oldest established companies in business now, and most of these old tractors here that are showing its odd off color, so to speak, are ancient tractors like the John Deeres. And I think it's just as important that they have a place in the sun too, and we're just tickled to death that they're here.
Well, we've got almost 100 of them here, and predominantly John Deere, but as you take a look across the grounds today, we definitely got some all colors for the North American Tractor Exposition.
Of course, Wednesday, a great day to sneak in early and take life at a nice leisurely pace. We've got tractors of all sizes, even a little lawn and garden tractor and a little bit bigger one right there, but Lisa Cherry is standing by with a really big one.
It's not unusual to see a high crop at one of the two-cylinder shows. This is a GP high crop, though, and that's quite unusual in itself. Can you tell us a little bit about it, Joe?
Well, one thing I can tell you about it was it was supposedly built in, raised in the 1940s somewhere in there and shipped to California to Knott's Berry Farm, and they used it out there to cultivate some, what they told us was raspberries or blackberries, and from there it was shipped back to Des Moines, and a guy from Newton found it or bought it from a guy up there. I don't know anybody's name. I don't remember any of that for sure, but anyway, he was talking about lowering it down. My uncle found it and told us about it. He was going to lower it back down and put it back to original, and he wanted steel, and we found it and traded him one that was on steel factory for it. And really, we haven't done too much to it, just a little touch-up painting and parade it.
Do you have other John Deere tractors, or is this your only one?
No, I've got about 6 of my own, and my dad's got about 60 of them.
Is this your first expo to come to, or have you been here before, too?
This is the first one I've shown at. I have been to 2 or 3 of them. This is the first year in Grundy Center for us, but we've been to Waterloo before.
Of course, Waterloo, the home of the first 3 two-cylinder expos. Grundy Center, in the meantime, has been the new home on the two-cylinder center grounds. The beautiful 20 acres that you see behind many of these tractors. There's our big, tall GP again as we continue our unloading procedures here on a beautiful, sunny Wednesday afternoon. Hey, how are you? Good. I'm good. You're lost? Well, I'm lost too, so I can't really help you, but I'll bet if you just go forward, you'll be able to, well, go someplace. Big chief bus, tour bus, hauling around a bunch of French people. And unless you only understand the French words of oui and croissant, we're going to have some trouble. Lisa Cherry is standing by with Jean-Michel, the French businessman extraordinaire.
We're here with Jean-Michel from France now, and what do you think of all these tractors?
Je pense que ces tracteurs sont magnifiques. On a les mêmes en France, mais... Oh, sorry, I forgot. We are in America, that's right. So, I will try to translate this, what I say. And I think they are very, very beautiful, but almost most the John Deere than the other, I think, too. That's right. Thanks a lot.
Have some red connections. Mike Chambers, undoubtedly one of those guys, bringing his McCormick Farmall AV. You even got a red pickup truck, but you're true to the green at heart, huh?
Oh, I like the green too. I like all colors.
Well, tell us a little bit about this particular tractor here that you brought to the great North American Tractor Exposition.
My brother and I acquired it about 2 years ago, and we've just last year we painted it. Decals were real hard to get, and Joe's Farmall in Pennsylvania finally came up with a man to make the right decals for it, and then we went ahead and restored it. But it was in real good shape when we got it. I did tear it down and put a set of rings in it, but it was all original when we got it.
Now, the inspiration for the two-cylinder expo this year with the all colors was because a lot of two-cylinder guys have some red tucked back. Do you have a lot more red? Do you have some green?
Yeah, I got 6 or 7 green ones and as many red ones and a few other color green ones and orange ones and a little bit of everything.
And as we were just pulling up here today, we got a chance to see his son here, who's over on the other side of the truck, the red truck, mind you. Hi, Brian, how are you? Believe it or not, he was the boss of the whole thing here. He really, really was. But Mike, is this your first expo?
Yes. Been a member of two-cylinder for 4 or 5 years, I think, and but this is the first time we've ever been able to make it up here.
Boss man's kind of shy, I think.
He likes the green. He likes the two-cylinders. He likes to hear them putt.
We even get movie stars here at the two-cylinder expos.
Well, Lassie, hey, come back here. Come back. That's certainly a beautiful dog. Continuing now on a Wednesday afternoon, and hey, little Christmas colors there, the red. Massey Harris, the green of two-cylinder. Take a look. Here's a beautiful tractor, an Orchard. Whether you're driving your life away or just coming in to take a look at a tractor's, one thing you got to do, you always got to join the cleaning crew.
Most of the people here at these two-cylinder shows take a lot of pride in their tractors, always shining them up before the shows come along. Robert Hagerman is one of those people. He's from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And Robert, can you tell us a little bit about your tractor?
This is a 1959 John Deere 630, and I have a 3-point mounted plow on it. It's kind of my hobby. So I'm kind of trying to keep it up, and so it looks pretty sharp.
Is this your first expo to come to with the tractor, or have you exhibited before?
No, this is about my 4th one.
Oh, okay, great. This is a little bit different than all the expos you've been to before, as in there's a lot of different colors here besides the yellow and green of John Deere. What do you think about that?
I think it's real nice. I mean, we get to compare our tractors with theirs and see the advantages of one over the other, but it's I think it makes a nice show.
Well, one thing I do know, Lisa, my tractor's better than your tractor.
You don't have a tractor.
Oh, well, that's right. Well, maybe a Caterpillar 15 could be in the future for you. So we take a look at some more of the oddities on the ground at two-cylinder 6.
In just a minute here, we're also going to have 5 more license plates for 5 more lucky winners.
How many of these states have you been to? I don't know. Let's find out here as we keep trucking them in here to the grounds at two-cylinder. Remember, these license plates good for some discount merchandise. How much are they worth?
$5 for someone in Alabama. Minnesota?
10,000 lakes. I've counted them. There's actually 10,002. New Hampshire? Live free or die? Hey, tractors.
And look at that, some John Deere bumper stickers to go along with the Indiana plate.
Big state of Texas.
Lots and lots of new colors here at the North American Tractor Exposition. As you can see, some reds, there's some greens, even some blues out there. But Gerald Denler out of Alleman, Iowa, you've got green here, but green wasn't your first choice either.
No, it wasn't. When I first started farming, I guess I took over from my dad, and he was out, had Alice Chalmers. And so I kind of bought out what he had, and I stayed with Alice Chalmers for several years because of the dealer mostly, because the dealer was close to home. But when I got a little bit more money and a little more land, then the Alice Chalmers went by the wayside, and I went to John Deere, and I stayed with them. I think, in my opinion, it's the king of the tractors, you know.
Of course, as we talked earlier, you kind of summed it up as you saw the light, but seeing the light, it's kind of neat seeing some of these other tractors, the competition, I guess you could say, seeing them in the same stage here as the two-cylinders.
Well, I think that's true. Yeah, it's true. A lot of, I'm sure everybody is not John Deere, and a lot of them like to see the other brands of tractors. They proved that last year, at the other show that they had down south. But I'm still looking forward to next year when you go back to John Deere again. I think that's what we need here. But I'll go along with what you got here this year because I think we need to show people what other tractors are out,
What happens when the night falls on the two-cylinder grounds? Well, some people pull out some tarps to put them over their tractors. I think it probably saves them a little bit of shining up to do in the morning.
Yeah, like the tractor tents. Speaking about shining up, not only do they polish off the wheels and polish the paint jobs, some of them require a little extra paint on the bottoms of the tractors, the sides of the tractors, all over. Hey, here we caught up with our French businessmen. They're taking pictures of our tractors.
Oui.
Since Expo 2, every expo has had an official tractor commemorating the event. This year, that model was the BW40, a tractor that's very hard to come by. Only 6 are known to exist. We have one of those 6 on the grounds today. But what happens if you want a BW40 but can't find one? Well, there are plenty of alternatives.
A variation that you may want to try is the BWH-40. Bill DeYager of Steen, Minnesota was lucky enough to come across one of these, even though there's only about 200 known to have been made. Bill, how did you come across your tractor?
I was out in California doing some tractor shopping, and I ran across this one, and it was in fair shape, but we did have to redo the motor on it, and I didn't start on this thing till the 1st of April of '96. but I did have it finished here already about 6 weeks ago.
So it came along really fast for you.
Right. We worked on it real hard. We worked nights and everything because I wanted to get it done before we farm up in northwest Iowa, and I wanted to get it done before we started farming. And so then it went pretty fast.
What things did you have to restore on the tractor?
We had to redo some of the tin on here, and the same rubber is on the tractor. I do all my own painting of these tractors myself. I have 150 of them at home of 2 cylinders. And I bought this tractor really right. I paid $2,300 for it.
And how much would you say it's worth now that it's restored?
I really have no idea. It's hard to say. It just depending on who the buyers would be, you know, how eager they'd want them, you know.
Are you interested in selling it?
No, not really.
Many different makes and models here at the North American Tractor Exposition, 2-cylinder 6. The Alice Chalmers contingency coming to us from Layton, Iowa. Chuck Bogart, tell us a little bit about this tractor.
This is a 1931 UCAC. It's a 3-bottom plow tractor. One of the things a little rare about this one, in the first 2 years into the 3rd year, they used it's called a Continental engine. Then they went to the Alice Chalmers engine. This still has one of the Continental engines.
2-cylinder comparisons, what would this compare to? Probably the D, I imagine.
Yeah, it'd be pretty similar to the D, yes. It would probably outpull it, though.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm not going to stand here and make any split any hairs about that, but 2 cylinders, do you have any involvement with them in the club, and what do you think of the 2-cylinder 6?
Oh, a 2-cylinder is great. I have a B John Deere at home, little 1936 round spoke B, but Alice is my real thing. That's what I grew up on, and everybody likes to have what they grew up with. I have a brother that's big in the John Deeres, but this is going to be a great show.
Were you excited about the opportunity to bring this tractor when you heard that it was going to be an all-color expo?
Right. My brother, the one's been here before, told me, and I didn't know anything about it, so I thought, shoot, yeah, why not come up and join the crowd?
And that's exactly what a lot of people did. As you can see, the grounds are filling up with a big crowd.
That's pretty good, considering the official start is not until the morning after today. It's still Wednesday, and we're wrapping things up here at 2-cylinder 6 on our unloading day.
Lots of people getting a good look at the tractors from the ground, but what about a bird's eye view? Any Top Gun buffs out there requesting permission for a flyby?
Negative, Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. 2 of your snot-nosed jockeys did a flyby. Well, you get the picture. Go on out and rent the movie, and come on down to 2-cylinder next year. Get a good look up close at some of these beautiful restored tractors. Time now to move back down to the grounds where Lisa's standing by with our next pair of interviewees, John Miller and Howard Miller. Probably brothers or father, son, or what are they?
If you want to see some Model A's when you come to the 2-cylinder events, you can come to the Miller Mile where they have on display some Model A's. But the unique thing about this exhibit is the two of you are not even related. Can you tell me about that?
We met at Expo 2. He was 3 or 4 tractors down from me. And we met early in the morning out wiping the tractors off before the show. And we've been great friends ever since. No relation whatsoever, but hit it off great, and been showing tractors together ever since.
Okay. Howard, can you explain what tractors you have here in this exhibit?
My exhibit here is a 34A, which I dearly love, and a 37A. And the 37A is very special to me because it was shipped new to my hometown of Friend, Nebraska.
Okay. And John, what tractors do you have here?
I have the 35, the 36, and the 38. The 36 and the 38 were my dad's tractors, and so they're family tractors, and I don't know, it's a lot of fun to show them all together.
All right, so we've got Howard Miller out of Friend, Nebraska, John Miller out of Muscatine, Iowa, became the best of friends at a 2-cylinder show.
From just across the river, Dr. Barry Jose, a doctor.
Sorry.
A doctor? Boy, you just don't know doctors.
Tractors at John Deere's are for everybody, I'm telling you.
Well, they certainly are. Tell me about this particular one.
Well, this tractor is a 1937B, and we found it in a field north of Glenwood, Iowa. and we paid $100 for it. It was in pieces, rusting out, been sitting there for 20 years. Originally shipped in January 14th of 1937 to Essex, Iowa, which is in southwest Iowa. So this tractor's been in southwest Iowa for its total existence. So we spent a year finding parts and repairing and redoing and putting it back together, and everything runs like a top right now.
Well, it certainly looks beautiful. Tell us about these wheels. This has got to be one of the unique things about this.
That's what we like about it the most. These wheels were not original. We had cut downs on these things, and when we moved it, the left one collapsed, so we had no choice but to try and find some new wheels. So, as you well know, the spoke wheels for Bs are almost untouchable price-wise, and we turned around and found some steel wheels, and not only did we get the steel, but we got the extension with it as well. And then we bought lugs, and then we thought, well, you know, we can't run it on concrete. So my buddy Fred Kocher, who's my partner in this thing, he came up with the idea of making these bands, which are just 3/16 steel by 7 inches wide, and then we got some belting from John Deere and bolted them on, and so we got ourselves quite a rig. Still pretty rough. I know now why they wanted to use rubber tires instead of steel.
You don't tear up the yard this way, though.
No, that's exactly right. We can aerate for free, though, if we want to.
Well, Doctor, thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your tractor. You did a very nice job.
Thank you very much.
Doctors exhibit at the two-cylinder shows? Well, sure they do.
Well, they don't have to come from an agriculture background. Not to say that Dr. Barry Joes doesn't have that background. I'm sure he does, but hey, all occupations, all shapes and sizes of people, as you can see, love the tractors. Be it a John Deere, be it a Farmall, we're all here for the same thing, to enjoy the restoration and preservation of America's heritage.
Hey you over there.
Now he's ignoring you.
Quit ignoring me. Hey, you. There you go. A little bit camera shy, are we?
Yeah, these people weren't camera shy. At least their license plates were. If you're from Ohio and have this license plate, shoot us a picture, send it in. We got a coupon for you. New York and the Keystone State as well.
Someone representing the Sunshine State of Florida.
Sunshine State and sunburned.
And we've got one from Canada, friendly Manitoba.
Well, with the exception of Expo 1, every single solitary expo has had an official tractor. Standing behind me here is the BW40 owned by Bob Lovegrove out of Nebraska, the only BW40. In fact, this year's toy was modeled after this very tractor. Bob, we had a chance to first meet out there in Nebraska last year when the Ertl boys came to scale this thing. How did that all come about that they used this as the scale?
I really don't know. They tried to contact me when I was gone on one of my trips, and I had the phone number when I got home to call.
And you mentioned you got on one of your trips. We talked a lot out there. You go on a lot of trips. How many two-cylinders do you have?
Oh, I don't know. I never did really count them.
If you had to guess, a couple hundred maybe?
Got a few.
Got a few. Well, tell us about this particular BW40 right here.
Well, I found it out in California back 6, 8, 10 years ago. And I had that man had this one and also a BWH40. And I had a choice of either one, and I already had a BWH40, so I actually took this one. And since then, I've also got that second BWH40 from him.
Well, did you know at the time that this BW40 was so rare?
No, I didn't. Not quite that rare.
And it is, let me get this straight now, it's one of 6, and there's only known to be 3, is that right?
That's what I understand, yes.
And now the BWH42. Now tell us the one unique thing about this. The real BW40 came with a little bit different kind of wheel. Tell us about the kind of wheel that is on here and what the old one was.
Well, the original, I guess, would have been a round spoke. It could have been steel, I understand. And the originals had fenders. I've never seen a pair of fenders on one. But these here was one of the tractors shipped less wheels to the West Coast, and these were made in Los Angeles.
I imagine that was to kind of save freight, I imagine?
I think so, save freight, and they, you probably buy these wheels for less money than John Deere wheels, maybe.
There's a lot of unusual equipment here at Two Cylinder 6, and this happy farmer is no exception. We have Wendell here. It says here it's a 1916. Can you tell us a little bit about your tractor?
Well, I restored it the first time 40 years ago. I was a kid of 12 years old, and my dad and I found it out in a farm field, brought it to town, and restored it for the old thrashers in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. And I've had it in the family, or I kept it in the family ever since then. I decided to clean it up real good this year and bring it up for this expo.
Are there a lot of them around, do you know, or is it really an unusual piece?
Well, I think there were a lot of them built, but they weren't built very well, so they died early, and this is a rare piece now because of the scarcity of them.
Do you have any idea what the value is of the tractor?
No, I have no idea. It's whatever somebody want to pay.
Okay. Any interest in selling it?
No, ma'am. Not at this point. It's a family item.
Do you have children at home that you're going to plan on passing it on to?
Yeah, I have a daughter and a son, and they're both interested in it.
And of course, one of the best things about Two-Cylinder 6, the food. Burgers, hot dogs, popcorn, we got it all here on the grounds at Two-Cylinder.
Lots of food to choose from. Fresh hamburgers off the open grill. Psh, psh. How about a soda pop to go with that?
Well, we definitely had it all, as you can see, stringed along the line here. Kind of looks like a state fair, but it's actually in Grundy Center. How about a gyro, hero? What is the technical?
Gyro? I don't know. Everybody says it a little bit different. Ooh, look at that. Onion rings and tenderloins. Giant tenderloins, if you ask me.
Lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink. We had it here.
Don't quit your day job. Mini donuts. Wait a second. Donuts? Donut hole.
And I think the best part is there was even a drive-up or a back-through, depending on how you look at things.
Creativity certainly draws a big crowd at the expos, and George is a perfect example of that. In 1992, at Expo 3, he brought his Model D and sat it on top of Coke bottles and then had the tractor running. This year, he has Alice Chalmers here, a Model G, and it actually kind of looks more like a praying mantis or some kind of insect of some type. Can you give us a little bit of a history on this tractor?
This tractor was sold in 1948 at the Warren County Fair in Warrenton, Missouri, to a family that ran a small truck farm. They used it for many years on the truck farm, and they also did their neighbors' gardens with it. It came equipped with a plow, a cultivator, a sickle bar mower, and a little disc harrow. And 2 years ago, a friend of mine bought this tractor and all the equipment and restored it, and then a year ago, I bought it from him, and that's the history of this tractor.
Now, you do have your Model D John Deere. Do you have other tractors as well?
Yes, I have the Model D here again this year, but it's not on Coke bottles. But I do have about 30 other tractors.
Oh, wow, that's a pretty big collection. Are they all John Deere, or do you have quite a bit of an assortment in there?
They're all John Deere except for this tractor, this Alice Chalmers, and a Minneapolis Threshing Machine Company tractor that was used mainly for threshing with a separator.
What do you think of this year's show with all the different kinds of makes and models here?
I think it has helped make it a much better show. I think that we've had a lot of John Deeres in the past, and I think it's nice to see what the other companies produced.
All right. Thanks a lot, George.
Thank you.
Our next interview comes to us from Randall Hake out of Villa Ridge, Missouri in this Farmall H, but due to technical difficulties, our mic did not work correctly, but we did pick him up on the Nat Sound mic, which has a little bit of wind noise, but it carries a very interesting story.
This tractor I purchased in 1992, it belonged to a elderly couple in Eureka, Missouri. They were murdered by the Missouri's famous Gilmore brothers, and this tractor was part of the estate of Mr. and Mrs. Williams. A dear friend, Merritt Hensley, received the tractor in payment for some excavation work that he had done at the residence, which ended up being the crime scene. They found out when he went there to work on the foundation to keep looters out, the people were in the basement dead. So this tractor sat 18 years in probate in the estate, and Mr. Hensley felt that he could never sell it until it was time. He had permission from someone, so eventually the state wrote back to him and said that he could sell the tractor and knew what he wanted. They felt the debt was owed to him because he had done the labor to the excavation. The farm ended up being part of the new Rockwood Reservation, and he sold the tractor to me in '92 for the sum of $650, which was owed to him, and I just made it clear to him that I would restore it and put it back in the original condition.
Well, from Farmalls to Fords, we move now to Doug Norman, who's got this 1955 model. Well, you tell me.
Okay, it's a Model 850 that I put a 302 V8 conversion in. I have a collection of 48 Fords, and this is one of my prizes. And was a lot of work doing the project, but whenever you let it talk to you, then all the trouble was worthwhile.
I say talk. Let's let it talk. Ooh, sounds like a real mean runner.
It certainly is.
Big to small, we have it all this year at 2-cylinder 6. Bud, can you tell us what this is?
It's a 2-cylinder air-cooled Ford. It was made by Ford Motor Company. It's an experimental tractor. They built it in 1938, and it's the only one they made. It was found on Henry Ford's farm, and it was dragged back to Dearborn at the Henry Ford Museum and then rebuilt. But they never really put all of it together. When I got it, the engine was apart and the hood and stuff like that, and I finally put it together and got it running.
Now, this is a pretty small tractor. It seems like it'd be practical. Do you use it for anything today?
Just what you're seeing, parking it someplace. And it's got 2 gears in it. One's too fast and one's too slow. And it's air-cooled, and of course, if you don't keep it wound up, it gets hot and then it quits on you. And then it's got these lovely things like the points are behind the flywheel, and they get oil on them, and then it quits, and you have to take the engine out to get to them. So it's really not a very practical tractor.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Bud. And as you can see here, it may be a Ford, but it's still a 2-cylinder.
The itty-bitty blue Ford of Bud Jonas almost kind of taking the shape of a spider.
There's a beautiful sight, the flags of the 2-cylinder shows. I guess you could kind of call them a signature of the shows now. They're every single year.
More tractors as we continue on with the Great North American Tractor Exposition.
A few more interviewees coming up right now. We've got Dave standing by with Dan Newman.
Hey, everybody, time to wake up. Quick pop quiz for you. What do you do in your big old county brakes or possibly your Farmall or maybe even your 2-cylinder? It's been told 2-cylinders don't break, but what you do, you go ahead and you call your parts, your sales, and your service guy. Dan Newman out of Michigan brings this 1930 Ford pickup truck. This is a beautiful little truck here. Tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you. We are John Deere Sales and Service. It's a Model A 30 pickup. I've owned it for about 8 years and off and on 3-year restoration. Decided to bring it down this year and have people take a look at it.
Obviously, with the restoration, there had to be a choice at some time of a color scheme. Is this something that comes pretty natural?
It comes natural, and it complements the several John Deere tractors that I have. So we had to paint it something, and John Deere green was just right.
Dan, the horn is certainly unique and certainly a beautiful color, and it complements our Expo well. Thanks for bringing that along. And just in case you want to know, if a 2-cylinder or one of these tractors does break down, we've got just what it takes to fix whatever needs fixing.
We've got a big group of people here. I need to find out who's in charge over here. Who can I talk to? Ken? Are you Ken? Ken Peterman,
yeah,
correct?
I'm Ken Peterman, but I'm not the spokesperson. My wife is the spokesperson.
Well, she told us to talk to you, so you're in charge here. I understand you brought 10 tractors to this year's show. Can you tell us what's here?
Yeah, we brought a lot of Massey's and some John Deeres. We've got, I don't know, I got to stop and take inventory. Yeah, Moline, yeah. Anyway, we have a 44 diesel, Massey Harris diesel, standard tread, 98 Massey Harris, or Massey Ferguson, excuse me, which was built by Oliver. It's a pretty rare tractor. It has a Detroit 371 engine in it, of which that one belongs to my oldest boy. The 44 belongs to my younger boy. Then we also have, I have to look which direction I'm going here. We have a 555 diesel, which belongs to one of my boys. And then we have a 95 Massey Ferguson, which is built by Minneapolis Moline. And then there's a GB Minneapolis and a 400 International.
Okay, so you've got Lots of tractors here. It sounds like it's pretty much a family effort then.
Yes.
Okay. Now you've got, I don't know if it's okay to call a tractor cute or not, but I'm going to. This is a cute exhibit you have back here. Can you explain this to us a little bit?
Yeah, that's a half scale of a 45 or 44 diesel. In fact, it's the same as the one that's over there that belongs to my boy. That's his tractor. And the Clipper Combine, it's half scale. It took me 2 years to build the two tractors. And 44 Massey, I built everything on it except the engine, which is a Kubota diesel. And the Combine is a scale model of a Clipper, 8-foot Clipper Combine, and everything operates in it. It would harvest if you run stuff through it, but I've never run anything through it.
How long did it take you to build it?
I've got about 1,800 hours on the Combine and about 1,200 hours on the tractor.
Well, it sure is neat, and you've got a big crowd around it, a big crowd around all your exhibits today. Thank you so much.
Well, now we shift our attention from the two-cylinder grounds to the streets of Grundy Center as we're set now for this year's Rubber Wheel Parade. Hey, it's bigger. It's a lot better than it was a year ago. More than 85 tractors getting ready to take to the streets of Grundy Center.
The way the parade works is there's a designated route. A cop car takes the tractors around town, and as they pass by the courthouse in downtown Grundy Center, the owner's names along with the make and model of the tractors are announced.
Gentlemen helping out from KDAO Radio, Dave Rabbit and Ken Hughie. You're going to hear those guys' voice here in about 15 seconds. And the Rubber Wheel Parade, I'll tell you what, it's a great opportunity for the folks at Grundy Center who might not come out to the expo to come on here and see what's going on.
There was a huge crowd on hand in downtown Grundy Center, and it's okay if you weren't there because we are going to take you to the parade now, actually several minutes of the parade.
The dog marshals will be there, right?
No, Dave. No dogs, just tractors.
Huh.
Next we have a 1954 Farmall Model 400. It's owned by Don, is it Mathy? Of Huxley, Iowa. Don is driving. Don Grimathy. Sorry about that, Don. Bought new by father and has never been out of the family. Hey, we got a twin bill hill from Huxley, don't we? And up next from Huxley, Bruce Halverson aboard a 1939 Farmall M. And here we have a 1956 John Deere Model 80 owned by Melvin Humphreys of Trenton, Missouri. Oh, Melvin. And here in Grundy Center from Richmond, Kansas, here's Kenny Reed. Got it right, Reed? All right. 1941 John Deere HWH. This is one of 125 of them that were built. Next up, we have a 1958 John Deere Model 330 Standard, owned by Kenny Reed of Richmond, Kansas, driven by Mel as a cop. It's 1,091 of them built. Oh, okay. 1,091. I know numbers are difficult, Dave. Yes, they are. Class will be back in session again in the morning. From Westchester, Pennsylvania, here's Jim Proctor aboard a 1960 International 660 diesel. This is a 1955 John Deere Model 60 V. Is that a V or an N? N. There you go. Owned by Holly Rudebeck of Buckingham, Iowa. Also driven by Holly. And there's another Rudebeck right behind her. Robert Rudebeck of Buckingham, Iowa. On board a 1953 John Deere GW. There's a 1957 John Deere Model 520 owned by Don Keck of Menominee, Wisconsin. Don's driving, and it is original. All right, up next from Cedar Falls, Tim and his son Keaton. Tim and Keaton Graves from Cedar Falls. 49 John Deere A, restored 2 years ago by dad and son. And he says this tractor came from Canada. Okay, this is Darrell, isn't it? You got it. This is Darrell Brook from Gladbrook. And they're in the 1957 John Deere 820 diesel, shipped to Elgin, North Dakota on May 7th, 1957. Darrell, thank you. Next up is a 1939 John Deere Model A. It's owned by Greg Kukulski of Memphis, Michigan. Tracy is driving, Tracy Kukulski, and this tractor is for sale. All right. For the right price, I'm sure. Next up, see them after the break. That's right. 1957 John Deere 420. No, wait a minute. Nope, we're ahead of the game here. It's a 1947 John Deere Model G, Mel Odegaard, okay, from Granger, Iowa, driven by Marvin Odegaard. And this tractor has been in the Odegaard family since 1955. It was restored by Mel Odegaard and is being driven by his father, Marvin. Thanks a lot, Marvin. Thank you, Marvin. All right, here comes Bob. Is it Spar? Bob Spar. He and Gene Hetty are the exhibitor owner of this 1957 John Deere 420V from Naples, Florida, and Monticello, Iowa, one of 31 made, used in Florida to cultivate gladiolas and sugarcane. Has a 5-speed transmission. That'll probably wipe out anything else on the roadway tonight from go. And here we have a 1937 John Deere Model B, owned by Jack Scott. Nope, you're the A. He's the A. I got the A. You're Harlan, I bet, aren't you? Harlan Bennigan from Grundy Center. 1936 John Deere A. He says his father purchased a tractor brand new. It's the first tractor he ever drove as a boy when he was all of 10. This is a 1937 John Deere. Is that the 37 John Deere B? Okay, Jack Stadler, Burlington, Iowa. Thanks a lot, Jack. I don't think you're going to need the umbrella tonight, though. James Steigerwald is next here. He's got a John Deere GPW2 from Grove City, Pennsylvania. All right. Hi, James. The next one here is a 1960 John Deere 330S. It's owned by Lee Robichaud of Ashtabula, Ohio. Sorry about that, Lee. There's Butch Buterbaugh. Did I get that right? All right, from Williamsfield, Ohio, in a John Deere Model H. He's owned it since '81, totally restored in December of last year. This is a 1951 John Deere Model G, owned by Pat and Bob Miller of Dalton, Wisconsin. Bob is driving with Josh and Brandon. And here's George Thomas in a 1944 John Deere B Diesel from Odin, Indiana. All right, the only B diesel in existence, featured on the cover of Green Magazine. All right, the only one of its kind in existence right there, folks. Okay, this is a 1950 Minneapolis Moline CAU, model CAU, owned by Keith Broder of Two Rivers, Wisconsin. Driven by Keith, and Alex and Adam are with them. And the next one is a 1963 Minneapolis Moline Jetstar 2, driven by Don Hatch, thank you, of Dysart. And he's the driver of it. I got the Dysart right, and we'll get the Hatch right there. Good to see you this evening. Okay, 1954 John Deere Model 50, Herb and Kevin Otten of Gladbrook. Herb driving. So it was bought new in 1955 and is still used some on the farm. That's not the one. We are ready for the next group here. Okay, we got a John Deere LA coming up, 1945. Urban Hebers from Dyersville. All right, purchased from Cleveland, Ohio in 1990. All right. And a 1955 John Deere Model 60 high seat Owner is Ed Walhelm from Atkins, Iowa. It's driving.
And there it is, that sight that some of you may call beautiful, but for those of us who work the shows during the expo, we call it the ugly, nasty sight that never, ever, ever seems to escape us at the two-cylinder shows.
Otherwise known as the rain event. Again, rain interrupting the 3 days of tractor watching with almost an inch of rain, and you can see there are a few die-hard fans getting a look at some of the tractors in the rain.
Rain, rain, go away, come again some other day.
I'll tell you when the other day is. It'll be next year, in '97. It'll rain during the expo again, I guarantee it.
That's okay, there is something to do during this rain delay. The swap meet is indoors, you can stay dry, and let's head over there right now. Ooh, wait, there's someone with an umbrella. Let's follow them. See if we can't find out what some of these people are doing inside shopping for toys instead of outside looking at them. Sir, how come you're in here shopping around?
It's raining outside. I'd rather be in looking at the toys anyway. From top to bottom to back to front, this is your one-stop shop for all your tractor needs.
What happens when it rains? Do you generally see more people?
Yeah, it dries them inside, and I sell all my ponchos every time.
We thought we'd take a brief moment here during this rain delay to talk to some of these shoppers and see just exactly what they're out buying this afternoon. Sir, what's your hot pick here at the toy show?
Well, we're just selling stuff. We're selling caps and T-shirts and beer mugs, or coffee mugs and beer wraps.
So you're selling and looking for buyers to buy your sold goods and, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's right, sir. We're members of the John Fairley Two-Cylinder Club.
Well, we're certainly glad you're here.
Well, we're glad to be here, too.
Well, let's take a look.
Some people offer good deals here, I think.
Good deals? This could be the place to be. If you need this John Freilich hat, come on down and pick this up right here. Thank you, guys. We're going to keep moseying along here. Let's see if we can interrupt these two people. I think they're a couple. Excuse me, folks. Can I just get a quick word with you? What's the hot pick here? What are you out buying today?
We're just looking, little pedal tractors and stuff.
Pedal tractors. That seems to be kind of the hot thing, huh?
Yeah, we have a lot of kids, so.
How many kids do you have?
6.
6? That must mean you have 6 pedal tractors, right?
Well, 4. They
Love,
share.
love to pick up them extra 2 here, though, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Great way to spend a rain delay, though, huh?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody's having a lot of fun here today, including this guy. Take a look at this gentleman here at Creative Engineering. He's making the signs you see in front of a lot of these exhibits. Fred and Bob Plunkerts, for example. He's typesetting them out on his computer, then he can lay it on in there. Jerry, can we get a quick word with you here, sir? Yes. How long you been doing this?
Oh, I think probably 6 years, 7 years. We started with Expo 2. Expo 2 when it was in Waterloo. And we've done all the expos ever since.
Well, now this is going to be something. This is going to be a tape put together for the Two-Cylinder Club. A lot of people maybe don't know where they can get a hold of these. Videotape's going to be a great avenue. How can people get a hold of these?
Well, you could contact me. I have an 800 phone number, 1-800-992-3606. You can call me up, or you could write me at P.O. Box 333, Palatine, Illinois, 60078.
And again, that's Jerry Swanson. You can see here, Jerry Swanson. That was a free, unsolicited ad, by the way. Jerry, you do beautiful work.
Thank you very much. I enjoy doing it. It's kind of a hobby turned into a sideline.
Speaking of sidelines, we're still stuck here on the sidelines. I think the rain is just about stopped, so it's about time to head back out to the expo grounds and get some more interviews.
And we certainly did get a lot more interviews, but first of all, we're going to take a look at some more of those colorful tractors.
The biggest thing, Lisa, we having fun out here today?
We sure are.
So are a lot of these people. We mentioned all through the tape, people coming from all over the nation, young and old, to see the John Deere 2-cylinders as well as the other makes and models that we have on display. Got your money, got your Visa card? The expo doesn't take American Express. It only takes Visa. Of course, cash works fine, too. George McElhaney, we talked to him earlier about that interesting praying mantis-looking thing right there, that Alice Chalmers.
Yeah, the bug, remember? The insect.
That was the Ford. We got a lot of insects, I guess, here today.
A lot of unusual exhibits, but very, very neat to look at.
Take a look at this one, the Big Blue County Tractor. I guess that's an all-English tractor. Beautiful McCormick Orchard tractor.
The saying goes, a dog is a man's best friend, and Verlin Heber is kind of like that when it comes to the 2-cylinder shows because he has it exhibited at all 6 expos so far. And Verlin, you have a few unusual exhibits at this year's show. Can you explain them to us?
We brought this Minneapolis Comfort tractor because it was an all-color show. It'd probably been my only opportunity to show it here. We brought an Oliver 77 Orchard.
Tell us a little bit about this Comfort tractor here.
It was built in '39, and it was at a time when everyone considered Minneapolis was ahead of the game. The tractor was built to run 30-some miles an hour on the road, and people were thinking about using it for a tractor as well as taking it to town at night. I think it was the first attempt to make a cab tractor. It has a radio, it has a heater. It's very uncomfortable because it doesn't have air conditioning. I don't see how people drove it really because you can't see the wheels, and it was designed to be a car and a tractor or a pickup and a tractor both, and it didn't go over very well. I understand they just built like 150 of them. A couple of this model did not have a cab. Most of them did have cabs. The survival rate isn't very great. It was kind of an impractical piece, I do believe.
And what about the Orchard Oliver that you have here? Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
The Oliver Archer was an original owner tractor. It came out of Michigan in the orchard country. It was in relatively good shape when we bought it, and it's turned out real nice after we've restored it.
Another exhibit that you bring here to Expo, you hook it up to the tractor, but it's an ice cream maker. Are you going to be making some ice cream again this year?
Shortly. Now that the rain stopped, we plan to go get some mix as soon as I'm finished talking to you.
All right, that sounds great, and join us for some ice cream a little bit later.
As we've continued to mention all Expo long here, we do have a lot of international flavor here at the Expo, and I guess this would be one of our international flavors. Mary Gantfort, good Norwegian name, comes to us with this Spanish-made 2-cylinder tractor. It was made in the European continent of Spain. What can you tell me about this?
Well, number one, it's a 1-cylinder, not a 2-cylinder. Built in Spain in 1960. John Deere bought out Lance Company in '56. They did their transition from the blue Lance color to the John Deere green around '58, '59. The last of the tractors were in '60, so this is the last of them. Doug Ganfort, my husband, he went over to Germany and started bringing them overseas. And he's just brought one at a time for his collection.
And you have a pair of them here. The biggest one that we're standing by next to you made in Spain. The other one made in Germany, I believe, right?
Mannheim, yes. And this one, the big one here is a 65 horse, which is the largest. The smallest one is a 16 horse, which we do have in that collection, but we don't have it here. The one we have here today is a 28 horse.
65 horsepower and a 1-cylinder motor. Mary, why don't you step around and fire this thing up? I imagine it's going to have a pretty unique sound. As we said, this is a Spanish-made tractor with its mate from Germany. It's a John Deere Lance, 9-inch bore, 65 horsepower, and again, only 1 cylinder, so it's going to have a unique sound. A little different sound, I'd say.
A little different. A lot of power.
A lot of power here in the John Deere Lance.
As you can see right here, we have some video of some Huber tractors. There were several of these on hand at the Great North American Tractor Exposition, but unfortunately, when Dave and I were around with the camera, the exhibitors were not. So instead of some interviews, let's just sit back and watch the Huber video. We're at a Minneapolis Moline now, and you can tell that it is an orchard by the fenders over the wheels, but I understand it's a little bit more technical name. Why don't you explain that to us, Jason?
It's a Minneapolis Moline, Twin City, JTO, and the O stands for orchard. It was originally sent to California, and my grandpa bought it from a guy in Minnesota.
Okay, now I understand we have to go to Dad Keller here for a little bit more of a background information on these Minneapolis Molines.
Okay, they made 156 of these, and there wasn't really any of them known until about 1990. And I took this to a show that they had an expo of Minneapolis in Iowa in 1990, and this one was the first one exhibited, and another one came at that show.
Okay.
And so now there's more of them came up.
And how many of these right here were actually made?
There's 156 of them in 1935 to 37.
And when you bought this, you had to restore it yourself, is that correct?
Yes, yep. It was pretty well complete with all the metal you see on it. A lot of them don't have the fenders or the hood and the side panels to it, and also the front grille.
You want international flavor? We got it. Take a look at this. An Australian two-cylinder comes to us from a New Zealand exhibitor.
And there he is right there, Graham Howden. He shipped 2 tractors over last year, one restored one and one unrestored one. He left them here in the United States during the winter, came back again at this show, and he had a very successful show where both of them were sold at the new event this year, the auction.
And of course, you knew that he brought them over from New Zealand. You referenced that off of Two-Cylinder 5, the video. Verlin Heber, we just saw some more ice cream there as the sun has come back out and the temperatures are warming up. It's a beautiful day as we get set for another set of 5 license plates.
Michigan, and then there's a John Deere 2-cylinder from the state of Iowa.
Missouri, the Show Me State. And show me Missouri, I'll show you some tractors.
And there's another one from Canada. This time it's yours to discover in Ontario.
Hey, let's head out to Colorado, the big mountains.
When it comes to GP tractors here at Expo 6, arguably one of the most beautiful tractors here belongs to Michael Leitner. Michael, tell us a little bit about this tractor behind you.
The tractor was built and shipped on March 20th, 1931, and it was shipped to Laredo, Texas. We don't really know what the purpose was at that time. I think just to a local farmer down there. It was found in the early 60s up near around St. Louis, Missouri. So we have no idea how it got from Texas to Missouri back in the days when things were not shipped for collecting purposes. It was somewhat of a restoration done then, and we played with it around the house and had it in a few parades. And then in the early 80s, decided to do a complete restoration and maybe shoot for doing an expo show. Completely restored from the ground up. Every bolt nut was taken apart on it, and there's a few things that are not completely original on it, but that's why we come to the shows, to learn about what's wrong and what's right. And we've got a gentleman like Corwin Grove. His name's, we call him Corky, and he's one of the GP experts on it. We've learned a lot from him, and
You mentioned it was kind of semi-restored when you bought it. What kind of condition was it in then? Or is most of this stuff original still?
When we bought it, it was completely rusted down. An old farmer had it, and then my dad did a complete mechanical rebuild on it back in the early 60s. And I painted everything with a brush, and boy, we were really proud of that brush-painted tractor. And then that's when we completely, in the 80s, when we decided to do a complete restoration on it and try to get it to back original as possible. The hood is still original. The fenders are reproduced, but we try to keep as many as the original parts on it, just to keep it authentic.
So is this your first restored tractor then?
Actually, our first one was a 48B that Dad brought to the first 4 expos and finally wore it out with all the sunshine and rain and decided to retire it, and then we brought this one. Without the help of my dad, this wouldn't be possible, and he's helped me with everything on it, and I just wanted to make a little personal thank you for all that.
High on the hill here at 2 Cylinder 6, we get a chance to spend some time with the busiest man in show business. Well, at least probably the busiest man here at the 2 Cylinder Expo. Lee Zylstra out of Alta, Iowa. You not only oversaw the most smooth unloading procedures that we ever saw here on Wednesday afternoon, but you've got a table here at the swap meet, and you've got a tractor or two on the grounds too, I imagine.
Yeah, we got, I don't know, quite a bunch of tractors here, and it's been a lot of fun working for the club. The club's been good for everybody. Some people don't appreciate it, but they should. I about lost my voice from talking to everybody, but it's been a lot of fun around here. Got a 350 International here. It's one of possibly only 2 built. Came out of a junkyard in Louisiana, and it looks a little better now. Colonite does wonderful things. Turtle Wax is good too. The county. We was coming through Kansas, and we stopped at an auction there, and I thought it was ugly, and I should own it, and here it is. It's still ugly, but I do own it, but people really like it. It's been a super show.
I guess that's a natural follow-up question then, is the success of the All-Color Expo. I think it's going to go down as one of the best.
I think we got to give the gals in the office an awful lot of credit. They done a super job of getting things set up. Last year it took, 8, 10, 12 people to get everything unloaded and set up. And this year, between myself and Jeff McManus, we handled it real easy. We got to give the girls a lot of credit up there, more credit than they've been getting.
It seems like every year this operation gets smoother and smoother.
Yeah, no, it's super. It's super. I don't know what we could do. We don't need these 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds. The tent's blowing down. And last year was like, 90, 100 degrees out there. But we can't have everything, but we all had fun.
One of these days, we're going to roll the dice and we're going to get this thing right.
That'll be to our advantage pretty soon.
Well, you not only bring the farm malls, the counties, and the 2 cylinders, and I imagine we'll see you here again at Expo 7.
I've got a couple John Deeres here. I like my John Deere, but gosh, these other ones are pretty.
Lee, thanks a lot. We'll see you next year.
You bet. You bet. Thanks a lot.
Lisa, quite possibly the hardest working man at the Expo this year. I think you'd have to agree.
I think so. Lee Zylstra actually has been there since the first Expo, has always volunteered his services, and has been a big help to everyone there.
Well, a nice gentle sweep of the Expo ground shows you that it was a very beautiful day. A nice little breeze to keep things cool, as did have a lot of people on the grounds. Coming up now, we've got a big group hello from the whole Peterman clan, as well as the friends. We see Walter Reef from Germany there, but now it's time to say hi to one of 2 Cylinders' most interesting exhibits.
The women in today's expo sure do play a big role. They get more and more involved. Some of the women driving tractors in the parade, and others are putting on their own display. Sharon's display here, can you explain it to us a little bit?
Well, we started going to tractor shows, and I didn't really have anything to do, and he was having fun, so I thought I would too, and I paint ceramics. So I made up some animals, cow and pig and chickens and stuff like that, and I just enjoy seeing the people look at them.
So you not only paint them, you make them and everything all by yourself?
Oh, yeah, we've had it, I think maybe about 6 years now we've had the display. So this is the farthest we've ever taken it, but here we are.
And your inspiration for doing this?
I guess just to have fun with him at the tractor shows, and I enjoy ceramics. That's how I got started in it, so I like to see it. I like to see the men come along and laugh at it.
Have you had any women asking you about it, wanting to buy any pieces or anything like that?
No, one show someone wanted to buy the whole display, but I knew I'd never make them again, so that was a no-no.
Well, the display does watch over a tractor here at the expo. It belongs to the husband Butch, a 1940 Model H, and what a nice tractor it is.
Well, I would certainly like to think that 20 acres is more than enough ground to house all the tractors here at Expo 6, but we've got one tractor on the grounds. I'm not so sure. It's the Big Four. Alan, tell us about this monster.
We got a 1911 Emerson Branningham Big 4 tractor here. It's rated at 30 horse on the drawbar, 70 horse on the belt pulley.
And about 10,000 pounds, I imagine.
Actually, it's 20.
20?
20,000 pounds, yes.
I don't feel so bad about my weight then. Where can people go to see this thing? I know it's not housed, or it's not based out here in Iowa.
Hastings, Minnesota, to the Little Log House Threshing Show, which is operated by Steve Bauer.
Now, does this thing still run?
It runs great. It runs great.
And what are some of the things that you do with it? Obviously, you mentioned the threshing. Tell us a little bit about what that looks like.
We do threshing there, and we run the sawmill with this one here. We've got plowing that we do primarily with steam. I'm going to say we're probably going to hook this onto it this year also. People have been here and say they've seen these pull anywhere from 8 to 14 bottom plows. I'm going to have to see it, but I guess I can believe it by the magnitude of the tractor.
Well, it certainly is big. Just to give us an idea, we're a long way from the tractor here, but how tall are those wheels?
The wheels are 96 inches tall.
That's about 8 feet.
8 feet, yes.
And
the tractor is roughly 12 feet tall, about 9.5 feet across from one rear wheel to the other.
And it was built in Minneapolis, I see, by the Emerson.
Minnesota, Emerson Branningham.
And what's that thing burn?
Kerosene.
And lots of it. 20,000 pounds, it's going to burn a bunch.
Well, no doubt the tallest exhibit on the expo grounds, the Big Four, but we also had some other big tractors, the Minneapolis Moline you just saw, the big 830 John Deere diesel, and sitting next to it, the equally big Massey Ferguson. Got tractors of all shapes and sizes, literally. Take a look at these. An interesting exhibit here, the Fire Patrol, complete with hoses and pumps and pickaxes and everything you need to put out a fire. The fire trailer produced by J.D. Wagon Works, you can see right there. Equipped for everything you need, including the fire hat. Well, as Lisa mentioned earlier, this is a year of many firsts, including the first annual auction held in conjunction with two-cylinder. Dennis Polk out of Indiana is out at the Grundy County Fairgrounds as we get set to turn things loose. We're going to do something. How
1917 farmer, pocket ledger, $50 now, $100. $50 now, $100 now, $100 now, $50 now, $100 now, $100 now, $100. I'm just on the spend now, half. $100 now, half now, $100 now, half. $100 now, put it in, $100 now, put it in, $100 now, $100 now, put it in, $100 now, $100 now, put it in, $100 now, $100 now, half now, 75 now, 75 now, 75 now, 75. John, you're in at the half now, 75, 150 now, 75 now, 75 now, 75 now, do, did you say 75 or 60, 70, 160, 170, $160 down, $70 down, $70 now, you say 70, down 70, down 70, you bought them 160, number 401, the buyer. Now we got number 42, 1921, Farmers, Pocket Ledger, $50 now, $100, $50 now, $100 now, $100 now, $100 now, $100 now, $100 now, $100 now, quarter. $100 now, put it in, $100 now, $100 now, $100 now, quarter. $100 now, quarter, $100 now, put it in, now, 75 now, 75 now, 75 now, 1 1/2 now, 75 now, 75 now, 150 now, 75 now, 60, 70 now, 70 now, 70 now, 80 now, 80, $170 now, $80 now, $80 now, $80 now, $80, you bought them, 170, number 177, 177, now 177. Now 85, 75 now, 85, 85 now, 85, gonna go, 75, 85, 70. 730, diesel, standard, electric start, rear weights, 3-point, top link, adjustable wide front. Boys, take a look. Hard high, boy, hard high here. What can you tell me now? $10,000. You 10,000 that are down, 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 10,000 now, $5,000, $6,000 now. Well, I've got that in 3 places. 15,000, 16,000. Oh, no, wait a minute. We can't do it that way, can we? Oh, I got 5,000 down here, nubs you're out. $6,000. $5 down, $6 down, $6 down, $5 down, $6 down, $7 down, $7 down, $6 down, $6 down, $7 down, $6 down, $7 down, $6 down, $7 down, $6 down, $7 down, 65 down, 7. It's 7 down, down, 7 down, down, 7 down, down, 7 down, down, 65 down, down, 7 down, down, 7 down, down, 7 down, down, 65 down. What a deal, what a deal. $7,000. $7,000, $7,000, $7,000. Now 75. Down 75, $7,000 down 75, down 75, down 7 down 75, down 75, down 75, down 75. It's $7,000 down 75, down 75, down 7 down, down 7 down, down 10 a half, down 10 a half, down 10 a half. It's $7,000 down 10 a half, down 10 a half. Where do you find them, boys? Standard electric start, factory 3-point, adjustable wide front. $7,000, $7,500. It's $7,000 down 75, down 75, down 7 down, down 2 to hand, down 2 to hand, down 1, 2, $7,100, then 2, down 3. I'm clear to back. Clear to back. 73, 4, 5, 75, 75, now 6. 7,500 down now, 600 down now, 600 down now, 7,500 down now, 600 down now, 600 down now, 7,500 down now, 6. Down 7, down 7, 77, now 8, 7,700 down, 800 down now, 800 down now, 8 down 9, down 9, down 9, now $8,000, $8,000, $8,000, $7,900, $8,000, now 1, down 1, 81, down 2, down 2, 82, 82, you're out, Scotty, come on. 81, 82, 81, down 2, down 2, down 2, down 2, down 2, 8100 down, down 2, 8100 down, but then 2, down 2, now 3, 83, now 4, 84, 84, 84, 84, 84, 83, now 4, 4, 84, 84, 84, 83, now 4, 8300 down, now 4, 4, now 4, 4, 83, now 4, 4, now 4, now 4, now 4, now 4, 50, now 5, now 5, 85, now 6, 8500 down, now 600 down, now 600 down, now 8500 down, now 600 down. Operators, manuals going along. 8500 down, now 6, 8500 down, now 6. Come on, Kenny. 8500 down, now 600 down, now 600 down, now 600 down, now 8500 down, 6, now 7, 87. You know, he said only one more time. 86, 87, Ron. 87. You picked out that quality, and you know how hard they are to find. 87. Now 88. 8700 down now, 8700 down now, 800 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 down now, $8,700, $8,800. Your bottom way in the back, 8,700, number 28. Is that a 2? 282, going down to Effingham, Illinois. Thanks, Ron. All right, got an 830 electric start. New rubber, and you talk about a good beater, boys. A nice motor scooter. That'll work, Larry. All right, one bar right here. Can you tell me now? All right, $12,000. $12,000 down, $12,000 down, $12,000 down, $12,000 down, $12,000. Boys, yourself. $5,000 my land, $6,000 your sternum. Cheap enough. $5,000, $6,000. $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 now, $9,000 down, $9,000 down, $9,000 down, $8,000, $8,500, $85, $85. Around the line, green hat. $8,000 down, $85. $8,000 down, $85, $85 now, $85 now, $85 now, $85 now, $85 now, $85 now, 9, now 9, now 95, now 95, now 95, now 95, now 9,000 down, 95. In $9,000, 95, down, now 9,000 down, 95, now 95, now 95, now 9,000 down, 95, down, now 9,000 down, 95, now 95, now 95, now 92 and a half. In $9,000, now 5, 92 and a half, now 5, 5, now 5, now 5, now 5, now where you now 7 and a half. 95, 7 and a half, 9,500 down, 7 and a half, now 7 and a half, now 7 and a half. All the work's done. 9,500 down, now 7 and a half. In 9,500 down, now 7 and a half, now 7 and a half, now 9,500 down, now 7 and a half, now 7 and a half, now 9,500 down, now 7 and a half. In 9,500 down, now 7 and a half, now 7 and a half, now 9,500 down, now 7 and a half, now 9,500 down, 9,600, 9,600. 9,500 down, now 6. In 9,500 down, now 600 down, now 600 down, now 9,500 down, now 600 down, now 600 down. Good, good. 95, 96, 9,500 down, now 600 down, now 600 down, now 6. 96, 96, last call, 95, 96, 96, 7, 8. You bought it, 9,700. Thank you one. Now we're going right around. We got another unstyled L. We're going over to the unstyled L. Go right down that line, gang. Right down that line. Watch out now. Watch the truck, please. We got to get.
Let's talk a little bit about last night's auction. How do you think things went?
Overall, I think real well. There was some ups and downs. We had a little bit of everything for everybody, from totally restored to really, really rare to a long, long ways from being restored. That's a salesman's term for junk. But you know, overall the crowd was, I think, very happy with what we did. The consigners overall was happy. I think I would call it a successful sale.
How did the idea for the auction come about?
Jack contacted me concerning an auction. They wanted us to have it if they decided to have one. We was very interested in it because we travel all over, and that's, as you said, that's our job.
The first ones are always the toughest. Like we said, we had a good crowd on hand. What about the future?
We're going to do her again next year. I think that, you know, this here being this type of sale it was, being successful, very important. Like you said, the first one's always the toughest. I feel it was a very successful auction.
Well, Dennis, thank you for joining us today. Congratulations on a very successful expo. We'll see you in '97.
All righty, thank you.
Well, as Expo 6 begins to come to a close, we again reiterate the reason for the season of the Great North American Tractor Exposition. It's competition here. A chance to see what John Deere was up against in the shape of a Minneapolis Moline and a Massey Ferguson. The Peterman clan join us once again as Kent and Dan kind of compare and contrast the three tractors you see right here.
I guess the first one we look at would be the Minneapolis Moline. It's a GB diesel. Horsepower-wise, it's about the same as the 830, possibly a little bit less. It's got a 6-cylinder, which was quite a little bit smoother than the 2-cylinder. Of course, they're all diesels. It does have the hand clutch and the big full fenders, which was rather common with the Wheatland tractors at the time. Tractor didn't have power steering, which it sure could have used because they don't steer the finest. Otherwise, the tractor is basically plow-wise and equipment-wise, they were built to pull approximately the same amount of equipment. At this time, I'll let my brother talk about the 830.
The 830 John Deere was built, around 1959, 1960. It was around a 60-horse tractor. You could get it as a rice tractor, an industrial tractor. It was a horse of its day. It was started with otherwise 24-volt electric start or a 4-cylinder pony motor. It had optional power steering, 26-inch rear tires, and dual hydraulics. And it basically was a pretty decent horse of its day. I'll let my brother talk about the Massey Ferguson 95 Super.
The 95 Super was a tractor that Massey Ferguson bought in 1959 from Minneapolis Moline. At that time, Massey did not build their big tractors. They bought them. They were buying some from Minneapolis and some from Oliver. If you notice this tractor, it had factory power steering. Basically, as you notice the GB diesel, it's identical engine and powertrain as the GB diesel we just looked at. The only difference that a person sees basically is the red paint. The grill was the same, still has Minneapolis Moline casting numbers, has Minneapolis Moline gauges, tractor serial numbered as a Minneapolis Moline. It was this tractor that you see here was a Canadian tractor. There was 5 of them shipped into the state of Iowa as feeler tractors to see if there was a market for them, and this is one of those tractors.
Well, if you want a good view when you're out doing your farming, a 60 high-seat tractor would be the one to go with. But if you like to do low riding, well, then you'd want to go with the 60 low-seat. We're here now with Donald Tudewall out of Farmington, Minnesota. And Donald, can you tell us a little bit about the history of this tractor?
It was built in Waterloo, shipped to Canada and used there until I bought it in 1994. And we showed it some as in original condition. Restored it, repainted it. It didn't need much restoration, just cleaning and painting, new decals. And here it is at Expo 6.
Now, you said the low seats were the original tractors and then they replaced them with the high seats, is that correct?
That's correct. The 60 low seat followed the AR with the exception of larger rear tires, different fenders, different style front axle, and the duplex carburetor.
And do you know how many of these 60 low seats were produced?
Approximately 1,748.
Well, as 2-cylinder 6 begins to come to a close, we would definitely like to take this opportunity to thank each and every exhibitor from the Alice Chambers all the way to the 2-cylinder tractors. There were a few of them out there on the field this week. We're sure glad they came by and helped to make the Great North American Tractor Exposition a truly special event.
At the beginning of the tape, Dave and I talked about some new things this year at 2-Cylinder 6. One of those, the Micro Mini Tractor Pull. Unfortunately, that was canceled this year, but hopefully we'll see it in 1997.
And you keep cleaning and shining those tractors, restoring them to that Expo quality we like to see. But as we leave you today, we show you the last 5 license plates, and you can see you can come from California and Arkansas. You can come from anywhere to visit a 2-Cylinder Expo.
And hopefully you will all be back in 1997. For Dave Reef and the 2-Cylinder staff, I'm Lisa Cherry.